So
think you should.
we're live now.
Or at least turn it around.
I gotta find how to grab the link so that I can link
Fine.
it to people. There we go. I got my mic condom back on. Let's go to the YouTube link here. Okay, so here's the YouTube link. I'm gonna push it in the side chat. You guys can open that in the browser. If you do, just mute the volume or whatever. I'm gonna go on it and go on Facebook and message it and post it and stuff so that we can get started. Yeah.
Pretty
Mike
much.
condoms.
Mike condoms.
Mike, do you use condoms?
I don't have sex, so I no.
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 Mike doesn't use condoms. All right, I'm gonna go on the YouTube video itself and see what it looks like for other people watching.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
delayed.
So there is no chat. No, it's definitely gonna be delayed for like the people watching. I think it's like a 15-second delay before they can see us. Right.
That's really trippy.
I wish that there was a way to get them to be able to chat and stuff, but I guess not. So
I like how the YouTube thing says, "Do it live."
yeah. So I'll just send it to people now. Sending it to a couple people. I don't know who's gonna stay tuned in. I've already forgotten what I was gonna say. So I mean, this is gonna be a very boring podcast tonight. No.
That's a really good way to start.
Yeah, I know. It's wonderful. Oh, no, I lost it again. No idea. All right, so I shared the link. You guys can share the links too. It's on my wall. I'll send it to Mike. There's the link. Post it on your wall if you want.
Cool.
Oh yeah, Josh said that you might want to.
Well, hello.
Yeah. I really wish there was a way that we could set it up so that people could chat too while we're doing it, right?
Isn't that what the
Yeah.
Q&A thing is for?
Is there
It's enabled. It's the blue one on the left.
this feature is disabled? It just says
I
it's
wonder how
disabled.
you enable it.
I don't know.
I don't know. You're the driver.
I know that. Maybe I should have thought of that before we started, man.
Probably would have been a good idea.
Well, if we're live, maybe we should start.
It's starting. Sorry.
Yeah, this is it.
We have 0 viewers, so we're still in the golden.
Except
we'll
for the
just
part where
edit
it
this part
actually
out,
is
yeah.
online afterwards.
We'll just edit this part.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I really want to get like an intro thing, and yeah, the Submerged plugs. So this will be edited in, but Submerged live podcast and Submerged records, like any recording or anything like that needs to be done. If you guys, if I'll post some links to stuff that we've done before so that you guys can check it out.
Submerged.
Usually
Are you trying to be
Submerged.
too smart again?
I'm literally
That's been the name of my band for like 5 years, so I'm just kind of just relating it to everything, right? So Submerged is just kind of like a universal term. So basically right now you guys are all part of my band. Congratulations.
Oh,
You made the cut.
Oh wait, I was already in there.
Do you guys like my new face?
It's much better.
Oh,
my
yeah.
God. Can you get the fucking water jar out of the front of your face for the love of
Yes,
God?
the jar.
The water jar.
For the love
So yeah,
of
if you guys want to share that link, you can. If you don't want to share that link, I don't really give a shit.
Well.
But let's get this underway because, we've been live for now a minute and a half. So.
Does anybody have any topics?
Oh come on, we can't
confront
start.
me with something.
All right. No. I don't want to be the one to do it. I do not want to be the one to have to fucking do this because.
There's that one topic.
Yeah,
that
last
is so
time,
obvious.
seriously, last time I did way too much talking, and this time I want to be the one to listen. I want Mike to say some shit this fucking time because I don't want to be the one to just open his mouth about a bunch of shit that he doesn't. I really don't know much about it, but all I'm gonna say, I'll
We
start
could just
you off
call
here.
it Everybody Hates Anthony, and then it would be totally perfect. We could just talk all the time.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
I'll start you off with this. I think that the country is going to be run by a bunch of fucking hippie, environmentalist, loser fucking idiots.
You realize we voted in the Liberals and not the Green Party, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I understand that.
Okay.
Oh,
So then
how about this? How
you're
about this?
basing your statement on what?
How about this? Oh man.
Just
We've
because
already
they're
started.
just
Yeah.
because the liberals are a
Already
little bit
started.
more environmentally friendly
No,
than
yeah.
They're not even.
conservatives.
They're just
Oh, but they want
differently
Okay, how about this? How about
conscious.
this? How there's
Right.
already posts about Justin Trudeau and how hot his body is.
Because it
Oh
is,
my god.
and we're human.
Yeah.
What the fuck does him being hot have to do with his presidency? Damn it!
He's not a
Nothing,
president.
but
Not
now
a, it's not a
Absolutely nothing.
presidency.
We'll
And
probably
it's super
never
cool.
have a hot prime minister again. Well, we might. I don't know, but
So that's a big voting point for you. Like if you had to
The
choose,
vote already
me,
happened.
no.
The vote already happened. Now they're talking
Yeah.
about it.
right? But if let's say there was like a mishap in the election and we had to re-elect, would you base your vote on who's sexiest?
No, not even kind of.
There was a
Not
campaign
even
that
kind
even
of. That was
said he
vague.
has nice hair. That was like one of the commercial things.
His hair?
Yeah, I don't know. I never saw it, but I heard people saying that there was like a campaign thing saying like, but he does have nice hair.
I think that's like
Something
Yeah,
like-
it was a
Americans that
Harper
were
thing.
saying that.
No,
Yeah.
Harper did it actually. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were like. I don't
Because
know.
everybody makes fun of him for his Lego hair. So
Oh my god. He looks just like a Lego man.
It went Lego pretty quick, didn't it? It wasn't so
So-
Lego at first.
I do know that I knew that the Conservatives lost 60 seats and the Liberals gained like fucking I don't know
Yeah.
90
Most
something.
It was like
A lot.
183 compared to like 99. Like
Yeah, but
conservative didn't even make 100.
They didn't
most
gain
of the
100.
most of the gained Liberal seats were from the NDP.
Yeah.
So,
Is this the thing where the new NDP wasn't going to win? So instead of voting NDP, even though they wanted to, they would vote as liberal just to
Absolutely.
make sure the Conservative doesn't win.
Yes.
Right,
How is
because
that
That was part of it.
well,
It's
at a
not
certain point you
fair.
have to
It's-
make the decision to change the leadership of your country.
Yeah, it's not fair voting, it's strategic voting.
Yeah.
Mm.
Ah.
Using your vote in the best way possible.
But if you're an NDP, if you're voting for NDP and you're an NDP supporter or whatever, what you're doing is literally fucking.
Yeah, but the same-
It's a direct hypocrisy
No, it's
against
not.
what NDP stands for.
The same goes
No,
with the
it's not.
Green Party. I'm sure there's a lot more people that would vote Green Party if they thought that way, but it,
All right.
it would be
kinda
pretty,
like-
it would be pretty stupid to vote for the Green Party because
It's whether
they
or
have
not you
absolutely
care
no
more
resources.
about having Harper gone or if you care about your party winning kind of deal.
And it's
Like-
easy to make that decision when basically the NDP and the Liberals have an extremely similar platform. They
Yeah.
vary only on small details. So
That's right.
if you vote for the one you want and then you split the vote, then Harper gets back in. So
Mm.
you sacrifice the small details for the greater good to
Did you
get Harper out.
Did you guys see the inaugural speech? I mean, it was just
No.
It was literally like a 2-minute video, and it was just him saying, "This country is going to change."
Oh
And
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
would clap, and I was just like,
Yeah, but
what the
so
fuck is
says
this?
so says every inaugural speech.
Yeah,
However,
Watch the videos
he
and-
does have a majority, and there's a lot of groundwork already laid before Harper took over the last time.
Yes.
So, what are some of the things that you guys think are going to happen in the future then?
Well, I think it's going to change because, like, now that the social justice warriors are running the country, they're going to force everyone to take gender reassignment therapy.
definitely. Yeah.
The
We're
first
all
thing
going to
that's
be
gonna
neutral.
It's the first thing that's going to happen.
Just gender neutral.
Yeah.
That was so beautifully put. I mean,
Of
all
course,
right.
that's a joke. This
Yeah.
is a joke.
All right,
And-
so here's one.
Okay.
What do you think about this this whole bullshit about the west of Canada that wants to separate from the rest of Canada because they're pissed off about Liberals winning?
I think that is absolutely ridiculous.
I just want America to take
I
over.
would just like to point out that these people in the West are losing their ever-loving minds because the Liberals are going to destroy their economy. Yet their economy in the West has taken the most serious decline ever
The biggest
Yeah.
toll on this
Under
country.
Harper's rule.
Under Harper.
Well, I
But wait,
mostly-
I've seen memes on the internet that prove otherwise.
Realistically, though, most of
It must be
this-
true then.
Most of this ties to the fact that the price of oil was driven down. So the cost of extracting it from the oil sands is just not worth it. So
That's right.
tons of jobs went away. It wasn't so much anything that Harper or Justin Trudeau could have done about it anyways. It was just a matter of economics.
and one thing that's important to me, and seriously, it has nothing to do with like Canadian economy or anything like that, but like it just the fact that the Liberal Party has won. I'm the kind of person, and you know you're gonna bash the hell out of me after this, but I like throwing away trash while I'm driving down the street, and I feel like now this is gonna be an
So you're
offense.
that guy.
Yeah, I'm that
Anthony,
guy.
You're the reason. You're the
Anthony,
reason the Liberals
this-
even.
Yeah.
This is gonna be an offense punishable by death now.
You don't even have
Yeah,
a license.
again, we didn't vote in the Green Party. We voted in the Liberals.
I don't know this guy.
I don't know the difference.
The difference is the Green Party is ideologically driven like environmental retards, and the Liberals are not.
So it's gonna,
The Liberals are.
They
a good
have more.
balance,
They have
is
more
what
of a
you're saying.
centrist view. They have more of a centrist
Yeah.
type view.
yeah,
they
but,
are not our crazy left wings.
Well, the liberalism in itself, I mean, the term and NDP, New Democratic Party, like they're almost the same thing, and like you said, the platforms are very
Very
similar.
Very much.
But liberal literally suggests that. Well, I mean, in the Constitution of the U.S., I mean, it's freedom of speech
We're
and
in
all that
Canada.
different shit, right?
Yeah, it's different though. Like liberal in Canada is different than being.
We
a
we
liberal
also need to take a
libertarian.
second to realize that who the fuck gives a fuck what the party is called?
See, and that's
Because
that,
there are
that, but
labels
that's the
that mean
thing.
nothing.
But that's the thing.
Exactly.
The labeling of it is what inspires false hope. So like now people are going to think they have more rights or a better choice to do so. Like they're free. We can finally do what we want.
Well, we
And that's-
do, but that's
then-
because
Yeah.
of the
And
party.
that's where the drive for the legalization of marijuana is going to happen because oh man, it's a free country, dude. We're all liberals now, and then everyone's going to be fucking high on the streets. I don't want to fucking talk to a hippie. I really don't.
I don't think it was much like that. I think it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was
Everybody's
more
high
about
on the
getting
street
more
now.
I feel like
in.
you learn politics from memes, Anthony.
Yeah.
It's
I
very much a
really
meme
know.
education at this
Really
point.
good.
Everyone has a meme education.
Well, it's not that. It's just that I take the words literally. I take them very
That
literally.
might be the
that's why.
problem. Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't they call themselves the?
Well, the thing-
That's
thing-
because
not to
the party
concentrate-
is established, right? It has a label already.
All right. So describe some of the things that are part of the liberal agenda. What are some of the major key things that
Well,
they
that's
want to
the
change?
thing. You don't pay attention to any kind of labels. You just look at the policies themselves, and then you vote for whichever one you believe in.
Right. So what are some of the policies of liberals? Let's call them tribularians. So what are the policies of the tribularians? Okay.
So I don't know. Like right now, some of the major things that are going to be going on is scientists are going to be able to be more freely open with their information, which is super important.
That's important.
I think you
Stuff's gonna
mentioned
get-
that last time. Yeah.
Yeah, stuff's going to get redirected. Like right under Harper, the way they had decided on scientific funding was kind of to funnel money into things that would benefit the economy. But that sounds great. But there's absolutely no way that you can decide upon
That
that.
sounds
ahead of
like a
time.
paradox.
Yeah, because you can't predict how scientific research is going to go. So the thing you never thought would ever happen could have
Yeah.
been discovered in this obscure corner of the scientific research could make the next iPhone. You know what I mean? So you can't predict that kind of thing. So it was just shutting everything down. So that's going to change because they're going to allow for like just R&D science, which is cool.
So the funds will go towards science and improvement
In
of technology.
general, they're not going to try and redirect the funds.
Okay.
It's just going to be more
See,
general.
One thing that was important to me, actually, there was two things that was important to me, and it was the passing of Bill C-51, which I thought was great because obviously I'm like a retarded conservative or something like that.
Explain
So-
Bill C-51. What's Bill?
C-51 basically said that government institutions can inter-exchange information without the client's permission. So, for example, if you go in and to the doctors and you're crazy and you have schizophrenia, and then something happens and there's a lawyer's case involved, the two government institutions would be able to exchange the information, the private information, without your consent to protect other people, which I thought was a great thing. Another great thing was, and I wouldn't pass this, but I'm on welfare right now. Like I'm a welfare recipient, and I do drugs occasionally. And one of the questions was, do you think that there should be mandatory drug testings for people that are on welfare? And I answered yes, and I thought it was of most importance. Even if it means me losing my welfare, I still thought that was very important. And stuff like that, I don't think liberals are going to address or acknowledge at all.
No, because it takes too much oversight. By doing that, so the idea of a conservative is to have a smaller government, but somehow everything that they propose requires additional government. So it's like, so we're going to do drug tests. Okay, so now you have to hire a whole bunch of staff to administer these drug tests and decide who passes and who fails and redirect all of this shit. Like, it's dumb as fuck. It makes no sense.
But the welfare money that is going to families, like you get these families that just have kids so they can get that extra check.
So there's already checks and balances in place. So what happens is when you install an extra rule like that, all you're doing is just adding extra bureaucratic bullshit. So the way it works now is you receive welfare, provided that your kids are taken care of and not living in squalor, they will not be removed from you and you'll continue to get your money. Right? So if either of those things drops because your drug use is compromising the amount of money that you have to take care of your kids, your welfare is already in jeopardy.
Well,
so
that would be not. You're talking about fairy tales right now because that's not how it works. I don't know if you have been, but I have been to the Yarmouth skate park, and there is literally like 25 kids in there without skateboards, and the parents just say, "Yeah, we're just gonna fucking let them go," and they let them run loose. And people that skate, like I skate, we can't skate because there's kids on the ramps that are like fucking like 7 or 8 years old, like just a shitload of them,
unrelated,
just crowding up the space.
It has nothing to do with it.
Oh, it does.
Nothing to do with what you were talking about.
Well, it does because maybe I'm making assumptions.
Harper would have got rid of them kids right fucking.
That's what I'm talking about. See, seriously, like it's just parents. Every time they have a kid, they get a little more money, blah blah blah, and then they just, once they become a certain age, then they fucking just run around, and then.
You do realize that if the kids are not being taken care of, you can report them.
Well, I'm not gonna fucking report a kid, Jesus.
Well, then you're adding to the problem.
That does seem to be a growing trend in Yarmouth.
You're creating the thing you're complaining about.
Yeah.
Well, no, just because I'm not going to report a kid, he's sitting on a skateboard ramp. What the hell am I supposed to? I feel bad for him. I'm not going to fucking call the cops on this kid.
That's the check that's in place that solves the problem you're complaining about. It's already there. If you feel that a parent is not taking care of their kids, isn't it your moral responsibility to remove that kid from that parent?
You don't call the cops on the kid. You call the cops on the parents.
See, you just made a statement that it doesn't make any sense. Moral responsibility.
Yes.
There is no moral responsibility. Morals are completely subjective and in everybody's opinion. There is no such thing as a moral responsibility.
Are you saying if
morals are
you have kids,
you
don't have any moral responsibility to take care of them?
No. I'm
Only
not saying
legal
that,
responsibility?
but I'm saying that for some people...
I use the moral responsibility in the colloquial sense. How about we put it that way?
Well, I just think that
if you're complaining about people squandering the money they receive from the government and not taking care of their kids, and you see kids not being taken care of, there's two problems there. You're allowing them to continue wasting money, and you're allowing them to mistreat their kids.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm a hypocrite. You have to realize that. And like I said, I voted super, super important that people on welfare get tested for drugs. I'm on drugs. They would cut me off right away. They'd fucking cut me off. I'm a hypocrite.
What do you mean?
I love hypocrisy. I wish.
What drugs did they cut you off of?
Yeah, we're not going to go there.
What does your use of drugs have to do with it?
Because that's not what the money that is dispensed is for. Like
the money that is dispensed is so that you can conduct your life in a reasonable way.
There
exactly. That's what it's for. And
Right? So
every
are
other
you
kid in
conducting your life?
I don't know. That's a real tough question. That's a real tricky one.
Right.
I think the major problem is that, well, obviously, someone that's working doesn't want their money that they're paying into the welfare program to go to
Anthony.
people that are just sitting
Anthony, yes,
people that are just
exactly.
sitting at home taking drugs. Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Yes.
Anthony doesn't want his money to go to Anthony.
Yeah, exactly.
Who is
Exactly,
conducting
thank
Anthony's
you.
life right now? That's what I want to know.
Laura?
I think
Laura's
it's
con-
could be the
Laura's
dude from
conducting my
20
life.
Times Station, I think.
I'm not taking care of no one.
I'm not taking care of no one.
Fuck
That's
you.
All right, so let's get on to the most pressing topic then, the legalization of marijuana. And
Yep.
the actualization and the legalization of marijuana. Now, I had this theory, you can hear me out, that when I was a kid, I used to smoke pot, right? And I don't smoke pot anymore. I don't
Really?
enjoy marijuana. It gives me bad anxiety, and it's
I
not
didn't-
for me, right?
I didn't know you smoked when you were younger.
Oh yeah, I smoked when I was 15 to 17, let's say,
Okay,
something like
okay.
that, like almost every day. And I always had to make an effort to get it. You know what I mean? So if it becomes legalized, the first thing that's going to happen, and I believe, is the taxation of. And you know, we hear about these illegal cigarettes that come in. Now, you get into a lot of trouble if you get caught with these illegal cigarettes. You
Yes.
get caught with a dime bag of weed, you're not in that much trouble. But as soon as it's legalized and the federal government starts taxing it, all these fucking stoners that voted liberal that thought it was going to change and make their lives better, they're going to be paying so much more money. And if they get caught with a dime bag of unmarked marijuana, it's going to be a load of trouble, and they don't see that coming, and that it's almost like they're asking for something that they don't even know. Like
Once
they
again,
want.
I don't think you're thinking about what you're saying.
I'm
I
thinking.
really don't. Like I can't imagine how you're getting to the conclusion that you're getting to. Like
Well, think about cigarettes and alcohol.
there is a provision that allows you to grow your own weed. In their drafted document, which I can send you right now, and I posted on
I
Facebook the
believe
other day,
you. You don't have to send me, but I believe you. I'll
where
believe
you
you.
can grow your
Just
own
put it in
weed.
the group chat. Put it in the group chat.
So you can grow your own weed.
I see it.
So that means that you have unmarked weed, right?
Yes, right now, because it's still not legalized.
No. If they legalize it, this is in their document for the legalization of marijuana. There is a provision that allows you to grow your own weed.
Okay.
It is impossible for them to mark your grown weed.
No, absolutely. Let me ask you a question.
You can't sell it,
Alcohol.
but
This is a great example. This
Well,
is
one
an
question
example.
first. One question first. Do they have stipulations on how you grow your weed?
just the amount.
Okay.
The amount. Okay, so and that can almost relate to alcohol. So like alcohol is something that's taxed federally, and it doesn't take $30. It does not cost $30 to make a bottle of rum, but it costs $30 to buy one. It probably costs them about $1.50 to make a bottle of rum. And when, oh my God, Jesus Christ, Laura, fucking up the podcast.
How unprofessional.
Cost them $30, or it costs us $30 to buy a fucking quart of rum. Now, if you have a still in your house and you're making your own rum, anything over 20% is literally a federal offense at this
Right.
point. If you're growing your own tobacco leaves, it's a federal offense. If the legalization of marijuana occurs, I think it's very quickly going to become taxable, and they're not going to want you to grow it yourself. They're going to want you to go to the corner store gas station and buy a pack of cigarettes.
Except for
course they
in
do,
their
but they need to
outline,
draw
in
the
their
line
own
somewhere.
I would
drafted
never do that.
legislation, it has that.
What's that?
In their own drafted legislation, it includes personal use growing up to a certain number of plants. They haven't nailed down the numbers, like 3 to 6 or something like that.
Yeah, but plants can contain different amounts of ounces of
Exactly.
smokable buds and all that shit. Like,
So just get some super fertile plants, and you'll have
So-
tons.
all right, well, I have a prediction then. What they're going to do is they're going to say, no, fuck you, you're not growing the plants. You're going to have to go buy it at the grocery store. If you want to smoke some weed, you buy it there, and you get a little fucking emblem in Nova Scotia. It's purple. That's
What
what
are you basing this on?
Well, the emblem, you open up a pack of
No.
cigarettes.
I don't care about the specifics about the goddamn emblem. What are you basing this prediction on?
The fact that tobacco and alcohol, which are the only two legal drugs in Canada, are rigorously taxed. That's what I'm
Well,
basing this
yes,
on.
but
Yes, but I can brew like fucking truckloads of beer.
exactly.
Right. I
How much
understand
would
You
you
that.
can't
charge for
distill,
a
but you
truckload of
can
beer?
ferment.
I'm not allowed to charge for it, but I can give you some.
You can give me
Oh.
some, yeah. That's
And I
right.
can give you a gift of
Are you
my
guys
Right.
doing a drug deal?
I think that
No.
it's what I'm saying is I believe that the drug laws for marijuana, if legalized, are going to become a lot more intense. And if you're going to get caught with some, if you have a grow license or you say this came from my house, you'll have to show them. But I don't think it's going to get to that point. I think it's just going to go straight to taxation because once the government can get a
No,
piece
the
of the
stuff that
pie,
you buy in the store will be taxed.
yeah, absolutely.
The stuff you grow at home, you grow at home. That's up to you.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
I don't know if it's
probably
going to
going to
work
be
like
something
that.
like 2 plants, right? You can grow 2 plants.
No, it's
but
I think here. Let me
But
go
how
back.
tall are the plants allowed to be? How do you fucking tell how
you
much
can't.
marijuana is coming out of each plant? I
You
mean,
can't. But
Well,
2
it's not
plants.
something that they measure. It's not something that, like, I mean, obviously it is measured, but it's not
I
something
don't
the
care how
government.
big the bucket I brew my beer in is.
Exactly. It's 2
but
plants.
you know
that's
damn
it.
well you're not allowed to sell it, but you can give
'Cause
it away.
Right?
To be honest, there's
Exactly.
like an infinite number of strains that you could create, and they would all have different potency. They're not just gonna say if you get caught with like just over the limit that they're gonna allow. They're not gonna be like, oh well, because you're over the limit, we're gonna measure the potency of your plants, and depending on the
That's right.
potency is gonna be the charge. We're gonna increase your charge depending on the potency. It's not gonna happen.
Okay,
I mean,
well,
I don't
okay,
think.
that's fair enough. Let's
This is
say
a liberal government statement, okay, from the document that I shared.
okay.
It says, will people be allowed to grow it in their homes for personal consumption or private sale? Yes. While we
Private
expect the
sale.
interest, while we expect the interest or need for individuals to grow their own to be greatly reduced po-prohibition, obviously because they'll be able to go to the store and buy it for convenience,
Right.
it should not and likely could not be eliminated. At the same time, sale of marijuana should be limited to businesses and require proper licensing, like alcohol. The state of Colorado is planning to impose a limit of 6 plants per person as a part of their legalization plan scheduled to take effect on January 2013. So this is, like I said,
But
it's a
did
little
they
bit
need?
older.
But do they need a medical documentation or anything like
This
that?
has
or
nothing
can
to
you-
do with medical
It's
weed.
legalized. It's
So
This
legal.
has
you can
nothing
just
to do with
totally-
medical weed.
But
you
I
can
do have
totally
one question
grow.
though as well. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to answer it, but like, if you live in an apartment and you say, "Oh, okay, since it's legal, I'm going to grow it," would your landlord or whoever owns the building would they be saying, "No, you're not growing that stuff. Get out"?
I guess it would depend over whether you're.
That's
if
private
if
property.
you're
Right?
putting in a massive grow op in your apartment.
I'm not talking about a massive grow. I'm
Oh.
talking about personal usage.
Right.
Well, as
So
long as it doesn't affect the apartment or it doesn't, as long as you're not tearing down walls or anything stupid, I can't see how that would be illegal.
well, you gotta look at it the other kind of like when you're
If
living
it's
in an apartment,
Yes.
you're renting that apartment, right? It's not
Right.
your property.
Right.
So the person who owns that property gets to decide the rules. Like they can say
Right.
no pets, right? Like
Right.
so if they don't want you
That's
to
true
be
too.
growing plants in your apartment,
Okay,
then
let's talk about alcohol then. Is it possible that a landlord could write a stipulation that says you can't brew beer here?
Of course you can. But
yes.
if you
That's
brew
a
beer, it's not like you're
It's
creating like an odor that's gonna impermeate everywhere. Like go
You
through
are
the whole
signing a
building.
contract with the owner of the apartment building. So when you sign that contract or make that agreement, you're agreeing to his terms because it's his property.
And you're basically living in his house.
Could be a her. Could
No,
be a her.
That's true.
Saying.
I guess
be.
I guess my final
could be
thought
a
on the entire thing is, I think that, like I said, and every
I
country
think that
is in
you
a
didn't do your
tax.
research.
Yeah, I think every country is in a tax deficit, like literally, and I
Of
think
course they
that
are.
adding another drug and legalizing one, especially one as popular as marijuana, if it does become legalized, I have a feeling that it will be taxed and very much regulated. That's just my
Absolutely.
feeling.
That's the whole point.
But it's gonna create a lot of money for the government to be able to, implement it into infrastructure and all kinds of different things, healthcare, all that kind of stuff. It's gonna be
It's
great.
definitely going to be taxed and regulated. That was like one of the things Justin Trudeau said. Like,
I think like what I read online, like a lot of their policies are kind of in line with what's going on in Colorado right now. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if that's true, but
As far as I could read, they're basically using Colorado as an example so that they
Really?
can
Okay.
build their policies.
And this will
And
be
I hear
countrywide.
Colorado is doing amazing right now, as far as
The only difference is, of course, that in Colorado it's a state level law, which is still superseded by federal laws, so they
Well,
kind of
that's
have
what I
a
was,
little
that's
bit
what
of
I was
a
going to
mess.
ask. Is
Right.
this going to become like for us?
But for
federal
us,
or
This will be
provincial?
federal law, yes.
it'll be federal, so that mess won't exist. It'll just be
Okay.
bam. So the regulation will be handled at the provincial level, just like alcohol is.
So what's your final thought on how this is all going to pan out? Do you think that it's going to?
Well, I'm glad that that Colorado or multiple states in the U.S. serve kind of as guinea pigs. I don't.
Yeah.
I think that.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to end up being like a multi-step process. First,
That's
they're
right.
going to like decriminalize, right? So then you can carry a certain amount, and they're not going to enforce current drug laws. Then it's a matter of removing the current.
What about
Like,
what about
non-violent drug
relations with other countries too? That's
They're
that's another
basically
thing.
saying fuck it, and they're going for it.
Like, let's say like the relationship with Canada and U.S. and Canada's just going to totally legalize this and
Well,
whatever's
U.S.
gonna
is legalizing it too, so I can't see how that would
not
create
federally,
tension.
but they're
That-
doing
how
it by
about
state.
how about prostitution? Are they thinking about legalizing prostitution?
Technically, prostitution is not illegal in Canada, anyways. There was a Supreme Court decision in 2008, I think. And
As long as there's a video camera
Already
involved, it's
done it.
totally legal.
no, the
It's
way
called-
that
it's
it
just
works
called
is,
porn.
is that it's the solicitation is illegal. It's kind of a fucked up law, but basically,
Soliciting is illegal, but
Yeah.
prostitution is not.
right? Yeah.
But they kind of go
It-
hand in hand.
They
so-
try and set it up in a way so that you're not victimizing the prostitute, basically. As-
And I read about that. I read about that too. And it really isn't illegal if there is a camera involved because it's just acting, right? So, I mean,
yeah,
Does
but
the
that's a
person have to
kind of
know?
weird loophole, right?
Does the
Yeah.
person have to know they're being recorded though?
no,
No,
only one
what-
party. I actually know this for
What
a
he's
fact.
talking
Really?
about is essentially making porno instead of
Prostitution, yeah.
prostitution.
Yeah.
So you're getting paid to be in a porno film.
In Canada, I know this for a fact that only one party that is being recorded. There's only one party that has to know that the recording set. So you could have like fucking 20 people sitting at a desk and have a tape recorder in your pocket, and you're a party of that. You can legally record the entire conversation between the people as long as one person. So like for example, if you're a private investigator or something and you plant a bug and you listen in to two people talking and you're not part of the conversation, then that's illegal. But if you go into the room and talk with them and you know that you're recording, that's one party knowing that the recording's happening, and that makes it legal in Canada. I've researched this.
Now, how is that different from the U.S.?
I don't know.
In the U.S., it's handled by state.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the
Some
U.S.
states allow no consent recording, some don't.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The reason I know this is because there was a friend of mine who was, he had gotten ripped off by somebody, and he wanted to know if it was legally allowed, if he was legally allowed to record them admitting that they owed him money, but he didn't know if it was legal or not. So I read into the laws, and I went, right to the GC site and everything like that, and as long as one person knows that the conversation is being recorded, even if it's you, then it's legal to use that as evidence. It's not considered spying or invasion.
Well,
of
the
privacy.
thing is that in Canada we have the common law system, which means everything is based on case law, which makes it very muddy. So
Oh, now you're talking about morals again.
no, not at all.
Well, pretty much. I mean,
No,
It-
not at all.
well, why not at all? Because if a certain
Because
case,
morals and common law are not the same thing.
No, but you said case law, so I assume that you meant like each specific
Or case
individual
law or
case.
No, that's not what case law means. Case law means previously executed decisions. So
Okay.
if a case has been presented to a judge and they've made a certain decision, if you can prove that your case is similar enough to that situation, the judge will consider that in his decision.
I see.
Because every
Right.
case sets a precedent, right?
Right. And so this recording thing is actually super, super complicated. And I'm kind of reading about it right now. And I know I had before because this came up. But
Yeah.
it's a fucking mess, really.
Yeah, and
Now I'm
anyway,
starting to wonder if I'm being recorded right now.
well, if you are, then it's illegal because no one
illegal?
else no one else is talking to you. Well, this recording right now is legal because there are parties that are viewing. But if somebody had plugged in a bug in your house and they weren't talking to you,
Maybe we should add a disclaimer.
Basically,
Yeah,
there's
Your
like
call
a
may
there's
be
like
monitored.
a provision regarding interception of private communications, and it's a fucking disaster.
yeah.
You can read about it if you want. Here, have fun.
Legaltree.ca.
It's like fucking 8 pages.
All right, so in the end, I mean, I don't want to get too personal about it, but who would you guys have rather had? And if NDP, conservative or liberal, I'm assuming that no one here is going to say Green Party, so I'm not going to mention that. Or the Quebecois Bloc, where they want to fucking segregate themselves from the separate themselves from the fucking country or whatever.
Yeah, I do want to mention something. It's kind of interesting that the west of Canada. I mean, there's been a lot of. I see it all over Facebook that the West wants to separate from Canada and all this shit. But I looked into it. I mean, it was something like 54% of the West voted conservative.
Really?
And like 40-something% voted liberal. So that seems
But
kind of
the majority,
odd.
the majority of the Canadian population is in the West.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Most of it's in the middle.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd still say that's West.
west of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the rest of Canada considers that the East.
Absolutely.
British Columbia considers that the East, yeah. I suppose, yeah. Yeah, so I got nothing.
Moving on. Do we have another topic?
Oh,
Well,
you were
another-
No,
just
well,
saying-
to answer Anthony's question,
Yeah.
prior to the election, I probably would have said I would go NDP because I thought that Thomas Mulcair won the debates, but following the election, I've kind of dove in a little bit harder into policies, and I align better with the Liberal Party.
I see. I took a test, and the first time I took it, it was that one that I think that you sent me on the last podcast.
Yeah.
And it said I was conservative, and I retook the test after I'd sobered up, and yeah, and all of a sudden I was a liberal.
There you go. Because you weren't being an ornery prick. That's why.
that could very well be why. So what about Laura? I mean, I'm gonna love her decision because she has no idea what the hell she's talking about. Let's hear it. You gonna
Well,
go for it?
No, never mind.
Did Laura vote?
Yes, I voted.
You voted?
Yes, absolutely. I even convinced Dad to do it.
Where'd you vote?
I voted at the college in Tuscany.
Oh, at the
University de
A
Saint
thing
Yeah.
came in the mail for you as well. You could have came with us. We got
I
your
was
thing.
looking for it. I was waiting for it to arrive on my doorstep, and then you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The only reason I didn't vote, I was gonna vote Monday, and
It doesn't matter. You were going to vote conservative. I'm glad you didn't vote.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Perfect. I was definitely gonna vote
He didn't
conservative.
sober up till this morning, actually.
No, seriously, I woke up at like 9:30 p.m. because I was so fucking hungover that I had missed the entire voting election thing, and I was just like, damn it.
I watched that thing I stayed up like until 12 o'clock and watched the whole thing on CBC or TV.
There was a lot of red in the East.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Like not one
Yeah.
other party got elected.
Yeah.
It's like completely liberal, all red. I thought it was so
red in Canada is liberal, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking red as in conservative.
There's red,
all of the
Republican,
French of
blue,
Canada
and orange.
chose
and
red.
green,
There's
obviously.
no other parties.
So yeah, so obviously I'd be conservative, and you said that you reconsidered going from NDP to liberal after the fact. What did you actually cast a vote, Andrew?
I did. Yeah. I voted liberal.
You voted liberal.
Yeah.
Laura, what did you vote?
I voted liberal.
How about you, Mike? Did you vote?
I did vote. They actually let me get off work early so I could vote,
It's a mandate.
Legally,
Three
they have to.
3 hours.
which
That's
was
cool.
nice. Which was, I mean. it
Let me
is
ask you a
what it is.
question. After they let you off work, did you get drunk before you voted?
Of course
Be
not.
honest, I would have.
Of course not.
Mike, are you in Halifax?
I am in Halifax, yeah.
Oh, he could have got drunk and voted communist.
I didn't, however. I actually got high and then I voted Liberal.
Okay. Liberal and Daniel, I'm
Very
assuming you
apropos.
also voted Liberal, didn't you?
Oh, that would be a good assumption. Yes.
You did vote Liberal. So I'm the only person that would have conservative, huh?
Yeah, but you took the test afterwards.
I told you were a liberal.
Yes.
Ah.
That was before the
I
vote.
don't care what the test fucking says.
That was before the vote happened.
I want this Bill C-51 to pass. I really do. Because I think
Didn't it already passed a long time ago?
No,
Yeah, Bill
no.
61 is passed.
no, it's still in fucking
No,
in
dude.
the mix.
It
or
passed
something.
a
It
long time
passed.
ago.
The thing is that the liberals are going to revise it to remove some of the like really bad shit.
But
Well,
see,
the problem-
the bad shit is probably what I want. Like the most important
Yeah,
thing
but-
for me was the exchange of information that is supposed to be privatized and all that shit in
But
between
why
the
do you want
government.
that?
Because let's say there was a murder, okay, and the police are involved. I think they should be able to access
Yeah.
previous incidences and medical records.
If there's a
and
murderer
any-
involved, they can get all that information.
That's right. It's called a warrant.
Well, no, but like now, without having to go through a warrant, because
Well, a warrant, I think, is kind of essential, so they can't just... See, the problem with Bill C-51 is not so much what's in the bill, it's more of how they approached it. And it's more the specifics of it that are a problem. When they come out with it, it was... there was a lot of issues with privacy that people thought they were being kind of stepped on.
I think,
And
yeah, I
it
think
was...
My
I think-
issue with the bill is a whole lot less to do with its privacy invasion, and a lot more to do with the fact that it just doesn't work.
well, you have
Yeah,
to you have
it's a whole
to
load of crap,
elaborate
really.
on that.
No, it doesn't lead to more convictions. It doesn't lead to more accurate convictions. The NSA in the U.S. collects all this
Okay.
data and can exchange it freely, and it has led to absolutely no higher quality convictions. And
What
it
about the
just doesn't
monitoring
work.
of telephone calls and Facebook
Because-
chats?
And I'll tell you why, because the people that are doing bad shit are already getting caught.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. It's
What
a
about
waste of money.
what about the monitoring of telephone calls or Facebook chats?
That's been going on forever.
CSIS
Well, yeah,
was
but-
doing
but
it
we're not
before the
legal.
NSA.
Yeah,
I understand that,
CSIS
but
is-
we're not legally allowed to do it. This was gonna
Yes,
like
we are.
pass something so that it was fucking absolutely.
Anthony, when was the last time you seen anything on the news about CSIS?
See, now you guys are fucking. You know what you guys are.
I've heard anything about
you
CSIS.
guys are
this
those.
is old news. Really old news.
It's not old
This
news.
is very old
It
news.
is not old news. And I'll tell you what, you guys are fucking like conspiracy theory people. That's what you guys are.
No. See,
No, that's you.
When Bill
No.
C-51 come out, okay.
Fuck that.
When Bill C-51 come out, people were asking questions about it. They were like, "What the hell is this?" Like, there was some really sketchy stuff in there, and people were asking questions about it. And the government was like, "Are you a terrorist?"
Are you
No. Well, don't worry about it. It doesn't concern you.
Oh God, I
Just
hate
let us
Canada.
do it. That is exactly how I was approached. and That's why so many people.
Was that
are-
high treason?
This is the best country on earth.
Oh God.
We're the #1 most respected country in all of the world, I think.
We are not
don't
Okay,
Sweden.
see, now that was not a fact.
I don't believe it.
I thought that I read that somewhere.
Well,
I
we
did
used
You
to
read
be.
it on a meme. That's where you read it.
We used to be, and then Harper
Oh.
happened.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, we're
I
right.
think we're back.
We're like-
No,
I don't even
seriously,
think
I think that medical documents and lawyers' documents and every government institution that has to do anything with the legal or judicial system should be able to exchange information freely. And that was one of the parts of the bills because there's a doctor confidentiality and the stipulation, or not the stipulation, but the problem was that
You
if-
understand that a doctor is mandated to break confidentiality in the
if
event
if
that he
that you're
thinks
going to
there's a
cause
crime.
harm or harm to yourself or harm to another.
So then your argument is pointless. Like
No, it's not.
that
Because
already exists.
Because without, like I'm saying, I think that the doctor should be able to fairly trade the information, even if you're not a danger to yourself. That's what I'm trying to say.
So you want to break patient-doctor confidentiality?
Yeah, and stuff
Just
like that.
because?
And that's-
Lawyer confidentiality, like how the police and the
What
lawyers,
benefit
you know.
does this generate?
Yeah.
Well, I think it would cause less crime.
I think
That's
I'm
what I
talking to a wall.
That's what I personally
No,
causes crime.
in no way would that cause less crime.
No.
There's no way.
I don't understand where you're coming from, Anthony.
Yeah, so if they share a bunch of
all.
information about people who are not about to commit a crime, how is that stopping a crime?
Okay, maybe it won't stop a crime, but it could lead to the conviction of a felon. For example, police and lawyers. Okay, two different parts. Now you have a certain amount of lawyer time that's allocated to you, and you're allowed to speak to your lawyer in private.
Mhm.
I think that anything that you're going to say to your lawyer should be able to be heard by a doctor, a police officer, a judge. I think that those things
But
make
that
sense.
completely defeats the point of a lawyer.
You're making it really hard for us psychopaths to go
That
through the.
completely diffuses the entire judicial
Talking
system.
about-
Like, that eliminates the whole concept of beyond a reasonable doubt.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
No.
So you think
I'm-
everybody needs to go to jail?
What's that?
You think everybody needs to go to jail then?
No, I think that people just need to fucking stop doing crimes. If you commit a crime and you do a crime and then you get a lawyer, and the lawyer's job is essentially to talk you out of
understand
he talks
how
to the
easy
police.
it would be to steamroll somebody in the system that you're proposing.
Just don't commit crimes.
Just be like, that person committed a crime.
Yeah.
Jail.
No,
Whether they did it or not, it doesn't matter.
that's not. No, it wouldn't work like that.
That already happens.
No,
That
That-
happens now. Like
no,
when people
no,
are gaming
no.
online and they what do they
That's
call that
fucking-
when they call the bomb squad on them? What's that
no,
called?
this is fucking bullshit.
It's
This
true.
is not-
It's true. They get pissed off.
It does happen with.
Oh, I know it happens. It's
and that
ridiculous.
kind of stuff.
Oh,
is
yeah.
squatting.
This is fucking bullshit. because
exactly. That's what
what I
it's
was
called,
talking about. What I was talking about is I think the police and the lawyers should be able to hear the same statements that one person makes.
Right, but then it becomes a game of anomaly hunting, and where you end up putting innocent people in jail for bullshit.
Yes.
Okay, so like, give me an
Which-
example. Give me an active example if you can think of any at all.
Like, it just becomes so much information that it doesn't matter anyways. So then everybody just ignores it. So it's pointless. Just like
Well-
the NSA has led to no convictions that wouldn't have arose
So
without it.
how is the trade of like that free information? How is not letting that happen going to help not convict people?
It's not that it, like,
How is it going to help in your like if
it's
things
more
stay
just
the
that it
same?
doesn't work.
Make my brain hurt.
Yeah, mostly it's just that it doesn't work. It doesn't lead to
You can't
more,
just say that. You can't just say it doesn't work.
but it
Why?
doesn't.
The U.S. has been doing it for years. What makes you think that this is a new thing?
Yeah,
What?
like,
They've been doing what? Hiding information between lawyers and
The U.S. shares more information than Canadians do.
Like the Patriot Act
Probably.
basically gave them the right to do whatever the fuck they want, and it has led
This is
to
already
no
happening in the States. is what you're
additional
saying.
convictions, and it has led to no more accurate convictions. All it has done has created a well of data that does nothing and just takes up space and taxpayer money.
But it creates jobs. You don't understand.
yeah,
Well, it
see,
does.
there
It
you
does
go.
do
Now
that.
my yes, thank you. 1
No,
point for
it-
Anthony.
No, that's the thing. It doesn't create
No,
jobs.
I know, I
It
know
really
you're being
doesn't.
I know that you guys are all against me right now. I
Nothing
understand.
creates
But
jobs.
you know what? It makes
There's
for an
not.
interesting show when everyone yells at me. We should call the show "Fuck Anthony
Everyone
Day."
hates Anthony.
Everybody hates Anthony. That's what
No,
it's about.
seriously.
Personally, I don't give a shit about the intrusion of privacy. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck. The thing
Thank
I
you.
care about is
There we go.
the thing I care about is that it doesn't work and it costs money.
Okay, I don't think invading privacy costs very much money.
Okay, well,
That's all I'm
listen
gonna say to that.
Listen
If
to
it
this.
costs
though.
if it costs $5 million, they could have repaved the entirety of Yarmouth.
Oh, fuck you.
Okay, fuck Yarmouth. Yeah, I'm going with Mike on that
Yeah,
one.
we could have just paved over Yarmouth.
Fuck
Sorry,
it.
guys. Fuck Yarmouth.
Paved over
Let's
Yarmouth.
pave over Yarmouth.
No, you know what it could have went? It could have went to the ferry. That's what it could have went to.
Now
Yeah,
that's a
obviously
good
we
idea.
need more money there.
You know.
Yeah.
Our terrible ferry.
It is terrible.
It's a pretty nice ferry.
No, I think it's
It
like
is,
again.
Oh, I got a topic. You know, all that fucking woman that bought these buildings. You know what I'm talking about? The
Yes.
blue ones and all. And she repainted them in Yarmouth. And Mayor Pam Mood gets to take a picture like that in the
Make it
paper saying,
pretty
"I've done something for the town. I've done something."
Mayor
Which is a
Pam Mood.
fucking.
Did you repeal any of the
issue.
ridiculous bylaws yet? How about
What's
that?
that?
I said, did you repeal any of the ridiculous bylaws that stop businesses from forming yet?
Oh,
Yeah.
Don't think so. Fuck you.
which
No,
have been going on for
absolutely not.
years.
Yeah, no
Years.
shit.
What about that statement that our mayor made about the unsightly cabbies in Yarmouth?
Oh my god, I will never get over it.
Oh, Jesus.
I know nothing of this.
Oh yeah, she said that
Describe
the
it,
cab
man.
drivers were homely and
we
ugly,
need to bring
and they
this
were
up. We need
putting the tourists away.
more info.
No,
I
She's
need-
not wrong.
Well,
No, but
it's
Anthony,
still-
to go back to like internet monitoring and all that kind of stuff. Don't you think that impedes on like net neutrality or anything like that?
Well, I mean, the real issue to me is if you're doing something illegal, like let's say even I message somebody on Facebook and I say, hey man, can I come over and buy a line of Coke?
Mm.
And if they're looking for Coke dealers, and you know this guy gets 20 messages from 20 different people saying I'm going to buy a line of Coke, then I think that I think that internet monitoring becomes important because then you find like the Coke kingpin. Maybe not in every case. Maybe it is a waste of time. Maybe it is a waste of money in a lot of cases. But I'm not entirely
Do
sure.
regular intelligence and warrants lead to those kind of arrests more frequently and more accurately than any of the intrusive shit?
I would believe that in the past, but
No,
I think that everything is
that
becoming
is what the
digital.
data
Like,
show.
like everybody's texting. There's no more fucking unsightly cabbies, hurting tourism. Yarmouth Mayor.
Yeah, this is
B&B
actually Chronicle
owner.
Herald. This is the local
There
paper.
she is with her pose. She does these poses. She loves to do these poses.
Is that the mayor?
Yeah, that's the mayor of Yarmouth.
Okay.
She loves these poses. Anything that gets her into the press, she's loving the attention. I bet you
What
that
building
fucking
is that?
that purple
Isn't that
sweater
kind of
probably
like
costs like
That's
fucking
the
$3
where's
grand or
the
something.
ferry terminal.
The
That's the
ferry?
ferry
Okay.
behind. And it says like this is when the ferry just started running like for the first time.
Are some Yarmouth cab drivers frightening ferry passengers with their
Slovenliness.
slovenliness?
I
Oh,
would go with yes. I live here and they scare me.
The unprofessional looking taxi and other drivers.
this is not an issue. Like,
this is silly. I mean, this is basically defamation of people.
No, wait.
No,
For
no, no, no.
Wait, though.
Yeah,
Hold on.
defamation is
One
lies.
question. One
Look.
question. How are Yarmouth's Uber drivers?
we don't
Non-existent?
have Uber drivers.
You don't
Uber
have Uber
drivers.
drivers.
Do you see
Ruining
what
the
he
cab
looked like?
industry.
I'm not
Mike.
getting in
Ruining the
that
cab
cab.
industry.
Did you see what he looked like? I'm not getting in
How
that
are
cab.
Lyft drivers?
This is basic. See, this is disgusting to me. See, this is what liberalism causes.
I wouldn't either.
This
No.
is fucking sick.
This
This fucking
is what
liberals.
conservatives say.
Yeah.
This is
No.
the shit conservatives say.
Look at what she says. If your t-shirt is stained and your pants have holes in them, there's this place called Frenchie's.
Oh my god.
There you go.
This is what pisses me off the most.
Once again,
That
she's not
it's
wrong.
This
It's
is
not
fucking silly
relevant.
as hell.
It doesn't fucking matter what the cab drivers look like. Like,
Well, I mean, there has to be like a certain understanding of professionalism when you're doing something that deals with the public, right?
they don't look that bad.
Well, no, I've taken
Have
tons.
you ever
They're
gotten in a
friendly,
cab?
A lot of
man.
them are really
They're fucking
nice.
friendly. Yeah, they're
There is-
awesome.
They could be,
There is
they
a-
could be super friendly.
Okay,
Because
listen to this shit. I used to take a
Whether
fucking-
we like it or not, we're human, and when we see somebody, we react because we don't already know them.
Yeah, but I
Now,
used to take.
If
Listen, I
you've
used to
gotten in
take.
a cab 1,000 times because you have no choice because we have 2 different cabs, then you're going to eventually get used to the fact that you know that person, they're super nice. Even though they look like shit, it means nothing, right?
I want to tell you
Somebody
guys.
coming over here from somewhere else has no prior contact with this person. Their first impression, just like every other person who has a first impression, is holy fuck, see you later.
Okay,
Yeah.
But
this-
like, you
this
got to
is
understand
crazy.
though, people that
Hold
are
on.
coming in tour, like coming off the boat or whatever the case may be, like visiting Yarmouth, they understand like the bell curve, right? Yarmouth isn't at the top of the bell curve. I'm pretty sure they understand that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people understand.
I swear to God,
Also-
I've taken like taxis in Halifax, right? From fucking Indian people and Chinese people and blah blah blah.
Yeah, I take taxis in Halifax all the time.
Yeah.
They're like always dressed in a suit.
Yeah, and there, you know what? There was this one guy that I got in with one day, and he looked really beaten down. He was really roughed up, and I was late for class, and my class was like a 15-minute walk, so I called a cab. He was right there, and I got in my class, 5 or 10 minutes late instead of 25 minutes late, whatever. And he looked pretty rough. He looked pretty rough, but like I got right into the front seat with him, and I had a
Did he hook
conversation
you
with
up
this man.
Did
And
he
he
hook
fucking
you up with heroin?
no, he did not hook me up with heroin. He literally told me that he just got diagnosed with
Hooked him up with
cancer
legal
last
weed.
week. He got diagnosed with cancer last week.
Oh. Ooh.
and he was fucking dying, and he said, and he said, I'm scared, and I'm just trying to get a little bit more money to leave to my family. Now, should
Right.
I have not gotten into the cab with him just because he looked like that? Is that how fucking liberals think? This is
No,
fucking crazy,
that's
man.
not even what we're saying. That's not what Pam said. Like,
No, it's
none of
all
that
about
is
the
even
appearance.
relevance. No, it's
What's
not.
going on here?
Like, Anthony's making no sense. That's what's going on.
What the fuck was that? Jesus.
It's not making any sense.
But no, I am making perfect sense. He was a scary looking, very, very frail, big beard, old man. He didn't look super
You
presentable.
understand that I'm not
I think
saying
that's
that people
Ben.
are
That's
terrible
Ben
people,
trying-
right? You
that's
understand
Ben
that.
trying to
And
do
I'm not saying that you should not get in a taxi with them. I'm saying that as a tourist, I show up at a location, I call a taxi, and the person who shows up is scary looking. That's going to maybe deter me a little bit.
That
Maybe
is
not
your-
me,
that's
because
your-
I would
tour-
probably go over
That's
that.
your
Depends on the
subjective
person.
opinion.
Listen,
tourists-
Americans are used to scary people. All right, they're used to
Nicest
scary
guy
people.
ever. It's just,
Yeah,
They
like,
are.
this is crazy. Like, get in the
Here up
fucking
in
cab.
Canada, it's scary.
Find out if
Us.
it's
They're scared. Like the people are scary to us. In the U.S., it's not the same.
Yeah, imagine the cab driver's fucking fear. Like, every day he has to pick up a bunch of random people, and they probably look fucking scary too,
yeah, they got to pick up people like you, Anthony.
Yeah. See, this is an anti-liberal view. This is why I don't think people should
This
vote.
has nothing to do
Fuck
with
democracy.
liberalism.
Let's get one guy controlling the world, and Mars too. I
Oh,
want Mars
my God.
and Earth under the
I,
control
I
of one
think we
man.
need to change the subject because this is getting a little out of
Or like it's 10:30 now. I'm not sure. How
Something's going on with Ben's
What-
feed. I tell you, it's awful.
Ben,
Oh my
That's
God,
just
we
disturbing
gotta
us.
kick him out of here. Jesus fucking Christ, he's gone. See you later.
I think
Sorry,
maybe
Ben.
you pocket that.
No. No, I understand what you're saying. As a tourist, you want like the sexiest cab driver in the world, right?
No, this is not what I'm saying. And this is not about, like, you shouldn't get into a taxi with a rough-looking person. I'm saying that it is a reality that some people will be deterred by people who look like the taxi drivers in Yarmouth look.
yeah, but what I'm
This
what
is
I'm
a
wondering
fact.
is what I'm wondering is why the mayor
People
thought
are-
this was a priority.
Yes, that's what I said.
Yes,
It
this
doesn't
issue was
fucking matter.
completely addressed incorrectly.
Listen, people just
Absolutely.
aren't up for experiences.
And that quote,
They don't
it's
travel. They don't travel to experience anything. They travel to basically be as comfortable as they are in their own home. That's what they want.
it's that quote that got me. It's something along the lines of if you don't know how to dress, there's this place called Frenchie's.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, no,
I-
it is a very uncouth approach to the whole thing. But
We
and
gotta.
we make jokes, but
Which is
I mean,
kinda
the real fact
mocking.
of the matter is
You
that,
approach
She's
the
kinda
kind of like
mocking her
dress even if
own-
you want.
yeah.
Kind of mocking
All
her.
right, it's 10:30, so we're off. We're gonna get off the air now. As a final point, just to be as crude as possible, I'm just gonna say this is what happens when you leave a woman in charge of a town.
Ouch.
Well,
That's
that
a
was
brutal
rough.
one. That was a brutal
little-
one.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
a
off the air
total
for
joke.
sure now.
Total joke. Just kidding. But I like to be crude. So.
I don't know this guy.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
All right,
kinds of
see you
beef
later.
But anyway, yeah. Hold on. Well, wait till that fucking
Oh
noise
my
stops
God.
for a second.
What noise?
Andrew, is that you?
I was doing some shit
No,
with
it's
coins.
Ben.
Oh, it's Ben trying to call in.
Yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I was gonna say, I
Anyway.
don't hear anything.
We'll say goodnight, and then we'll reconvene next Thursday, and we'll talk about cab drivers and mayors and feminism and who knows what the fuck else. Thanks for joining, Andrew. Thanks for joining, Mike.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining, Laura.
You're welcome.
And you can go fuck yourself, Dan.
This is never happening again.
We'll see you next week.
Fucking Dan on the couch.
Submerged live.